We're gonna ignore my hearing. Sorry I didn't post yesterday. Yesterday, I actually have a good reasoning though. Cause yesterday I woke up, went through my morning, like normal, and immediately started getting ready to go to the dentist to get my tooth home. Okay, I can't get a good angle for you, but I'm trying. There, that's the best that you're getting. I tried, at least. I tried. I'm gonna fix my hair in the meantime, but and what I mean by get ready, I'm the type of person where I think that personally I don't need to get ready to go to a doctor's appointment or a dentist, versus my parents, on the other hand, think differently. And there's a type where anytime when I have to go to a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment and they are 100% the type that is you gotta get ready, you gotta look nice for the doctor, and all of this, I st- 100% this type. So, me, and it's the doctor, it's the dentist. It's not we're going into a party. They don't care if if we show up in a t-shirt and sweatpants, or if we come in looking nice. They don't really care, far as I know. So that is the one annoying thing about my parents, but I love them so much. But also yesterday, I got to home, and when we got there, I kind of went in not knowing what, I didn't know anything really about getting a tooth pulled. Don't worry, it was a baby tooth, and the reason is because there was a tooth up underneath it that was starting to, a tooth up underneath it. It a normal human thing. You lose baby teeth all the time. But what was happening was that my baby tooth was not loose. It wasn't even the slightest bit loose. And usually usually by the time the tooth underneath it forms, or your tooth becomes loose, and then your baby tooth comes loose, and it eventually falls out, and then a new one pops up and stuff which is your adult tooth. And then that situation. But mine wasn't loose at all, and it was gonna cause a lot of pain when the tooth came up, because my baby tooth was still there, so we got it removed. I went in not knowing anything. I didn't know, because got your biscuit. And you a good boy. But, like, we got in there. Then my dad went out into the waiting room again. Usually my dad stays in there. But he had to, like, fill out a bunch of paperwork. And that was kind of what they, like, said. Was like, oh, we're going to take you out in the waiting room and and ultimately, if I wanted him in there, he was not going to, like, leave. But it was fine. Like, I just didn't really care. It was the first time ever that my dad was not in the room. Because my dad had taken me to every dentist appointment and in my life that we know of, anyways. Because I basically been here since I was 3 weeks old. So, yeah. And so less than those 3 weeks before that, I went to the dentist. But I feel like I was definitely too young for that. Then what ended up happening was that, like, we got in there, immediately, like, they counted my teeth and, like, I don't even fully know. And then immediately got numbing cream. Luckily, only once my mouth was numb, which it immediately was numb, I couldn't taste anything. And I say luckily because as they said that the numbing cream was strawberry flavored, and I hate, like, flavors. Like, I absolutely hate flavors with a burning passion. Like, most flavors. I'll say most flavors, because there's certain things like bacon. Or, like, I eat things that have a taste. It's just most things. So, luckily, I, like, couldn't taste, which was weird because they didn't even numb my tongue. So, I thought that was really weird. That might be because they, like, immediately, like, soon as, like, the numbing stuff, like, immediately worked. And then, like, basically right after that, or that they, like, rinsed my mouth with, like, water, and then this, like, thingy that, like, vacuumed out the water and stuff. And then after that, it was something that when I was a little kid, I would have thrown a fit about. Like, something that when I was a little kid, I would have been traumatized by. But me now, it's like, it's not the most fun thing in the world. But it's also, like, me now, like, wouldn't, like, be traumatized by it. But also, it's like, it's not the most fun thing in the world. Which is get a shot in my gum. Not just one, but 4 of them. In 4 different places. And like, one section, like, one section more, like, towards the side, in the front, one on the back, on the side, and then one in the front on the opposite side, and, like, all 4 corners of, like, where the tooth, but in the gum. And they put, like, after that, they put this thing that was kind of cold. It was kind of cold. Probably because it was, like, a straight up, like, piece of metal. And it was cold. And then, like, asked if I could feel it, or said, like, can you feel it? And I'm like, I did something with my hand, like, I know, like, I can't, like, some sign that means, like, basic. I think it was, like, a thumbs down or something, because I don't talk. like, here's the thing. I'm like, I never, or not too many times. I feel like I have, but only a couple of have I ever talked to doctors. I'm like, no. And then next thing you know, they like pulled it out, and I couldn't even feel it. Like, generally, I didn't feel it at all. Like just doing this to your hand is worse. Like, just slightly tapping your hand is worse, I feel like. I'm feeling like how much does it like hurt when it pulls out, because I couldn't feel it. Now, I don't know about all cases, I just know mine. And then I put gauze, and then I was done. Like, we were literally done within like 15 minutes, probably more like 10. I'm even questioning 10. I feel like it was really fast. I'm just gonna put that because I don't know. Then they sterilized or sprayed like this like hand sanitizer or something on to the baby too, because it was out at this point. And then they put in this little like treasure chest thing that was yellow for the tooth fairy. And then I got to take it home. And then ended up I got like $5 from the tooth fairy. We actually, like, soon as I got back, we actually ordered it, and ordered something, which was the reasoning was because we weren't sure if I was gonna get to keep the tooth or not. And what happened was that, so we actually wrote a note the night before, being like, "Hey, I gotta get a tooth pulled out. So you may not get in my last, or hopefully last, baby tooth." So we wrote like a little note to the tooth fairy explaining it. She left $5 under my pillow. Like, yes, $5. Even though she like didn't get a tooth from it. And then what happened was last night we left the tooth because with the little note saying we ended up getting to keep the tooth to give to you. And then she took the tooth. And she left the treasure chest though. She left the treasure chest, but she took the tooth, which is fine. So now, like, we have like a little treasure just to like store something in, but so small that you can. And we ended up getting to pick out I got to pick from the treasure box or something, and nothing good was in there. And I actually got concerned at first because when I first opened it, like, I kind of like didn't fully look in. Like, at first I had it like halfway open, and I saw a bunch of these little dinosaur type things, and I'm like, oh no, they're gonna have a fake snake in here. And then I'm gonna like freak out. And luckily they didn't. It was all just a bunch of little like dinosaurs. And even then I'm still like, I'm not scared of them. Bigger ones, yes. Littler ones, no. I'm okay, Sam. And then we like came home, and came home. I loved on baby Sam. Then baby Sam got annoyed because as he just wanted to like I play or something, he wanted to like just take a nap, and I kept trying to give him a lot of kisses and loving on him, and he's like, just leave me alone for 5 minutes. And I said, let me take a nap. I just want a nap, Mama, and you keep messing with me. But the funny thing was, at first I couldn't really talk, and that's why I actually didn't, because I couldn't talk at first, because I had a piece of gauze in my mouth. And then that was an interesting story that we're gonna get to. But then I went on my dad's computer and looked at like a bunch of JoJo stuff because I knew I kind of had an idea of what I wanted, but I wanted to look at all the different JoJo stuff. And the reason that I want something JoJo was because the J Team comes out Friday, and I'm like dying with that excitement. So excited for the J Team. For those who don't know what the J Team is, it's JoJo Siwa's movie musical, and I'm so excited. If you want to watch the trailer, go to her TikTok and her YouTube channel. Both are It's JoJo Siwa. And her Instagram, I think, has it or something. And there's actually a trailer that you can watch for the J Team. I'm so excited, and I generally can't wait. And it was so fun, it's gonna be so good. One sec. But anyways, we ended up ordering from Five Below a JoJo Siwa Lego set. I think it's a candy shop. It's some little like shop type thing. And I'm really excited. It's 117 pieces. I'm excited because when I was a lot younger, like when I was little, I feel like I had just met my crush or something. And my mom and my dad were at a mall near my sister's house, and there was a Lego store, and we went in. And we went in, and she let me pick out a Lego set. I ended up getting this like Merida one, and then Bella's sister didn't, and we went over to my sister's house, and I was getting ready to build it, and Bella's sister was gonna help me. And what happened was that Bella's sister didn't understand that I knew how to understand the instructions. They were very easy instructions, by the way. Pictures or step-by-step pictures of what you're supposed to do, like very easy to understand. But also at the same time, she was a little, like, because as she is a year younger than me, so it doesn't look that way. Like, if you ever, like, I see us side by side, which I don't think you ever will. But like if you ever do, like I see like us out in public, and like if you ever see me out in public, feel free to come up and ask for a picture. I'll take a picture, you know. Oh, I have rules with it though, which is like you don't follow us home or anything like that. Like, but that's just safety. But I will sign an autograph. I will take a picture with you. You know, like I haven't had that experience yet, and I dream of it, and I know that one day I will because I'm gonna work really hard for it. But like, this video is just telling you my whole like tooth experience yesterday or day. But they had to, so she ended up getting my dad upstairs, because it was like there was an upstairs, and then my dad helped us build it. It was a Merida Lego set. It was pretty cool. Well, I don't know what happened to it though. Then, yes, I'm building a JoJo shelf, by the way. Like, that entire little shelf at the, let me find it. There, it's gonna be entirely JoJo. Or that one above me might. Like a bunch of just JoJo stuff. And so like I'm excited. So they had two different JoJo Lego sets. They had one that was like a stage setup. It was like a little stage. It was 115 pieces for $5, Five Below. Then there was like a little shop. I think it's a candy shop. I don't know. Oh, and it's 117 pieces. Yeah, I'm thinking that's gonna be my JoJo show. Just due to the fact that I love JoJo, and I'm gonna like, as soon as this Lego set gets here, I'm gonna like work on it, and like I'm really excited and I'm enjoying it. Sorry, there's a piece of plastic that but like, it was really fun. Then eventually, the gauze thing though was interesting. I ended up not bleeding that much. Just like a normal, like, oh, a tooth fell out much. And there were a bunch of rules that we had, like, for like the first week. If we were having issues with it, like, if we were having issues like pain or like blood, which we didn't, like, we generally didn't. Like, at first it was hard to tell because at first my mouth was just numb, and my mouth stayed numb until I went to bed almost. And then by that point it wasn't numb anymore and it was fine. Which was like I couldn't use a straw or anything. And like certain things, but my mouth is good to go. And our straws are like basically just straight up rubber. Like we have some that are like rubber straws and then some that are like metal straws but with like rubber at the end. And they're reusable and they're good. Peace out.